Dun 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 bum 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 bum. All right. Let's do some law. What's going on? What? What? Why? Come on, I actually, like, legitimately want to know. Got it. Good luck, buddy. Alright. Let's get this started. I'm so glad this has been loading up great. And I drank 12 cups of water today. I'm pretty proud of myself. Alright. Like I promised, we will be playing this fourth case. Just remember, I won't be able to get through it all, obviously. I am at work. Okay? Or, I have work. So I can only play so long, because I like sleeping. Never forget that. Alright. Episode 4, Turnabout Succession. Who is succeeding? And that is the whole truth of this case. What? Okay. Uh-oh. Well, in order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. Huh? Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. I'm confused. What? And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Did she die in court? Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Is he back? Is he a prosecutor now? I'm so confused. October 7th. Ooh, close to my birthday. 10:37 a.m. Right, anything agency. Hey, Apollo, look on TV. Look, look. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Whoa, look at that. He's the last, Grimari. Amazing. Alright? Amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow, 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 what? What? I was writing about our last case in my journal. Why is you supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not in journals? And why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of a moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lemuror disappeared. That's right. Uncle Valent did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting to the good part. Suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Gavineers concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary troupe Grimari. Grimari is performing for the first time in 7 years. That's going to be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. The legendary Grimaris. If Trucy's real father were still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles. I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. Ticket to the premiere showing of A Grand Illusion by the magician Valent Grimari. Ah, you are here. Working hard or hardly working? Yeah, fucking you. Hey, how have you been? Hi there, stranger. Well, exactly the kind of greeting I'd want to hear from my own kid. Though he has been gone a long time. Ah ha ha ha. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay, pudding! I love pudding. Ooh, it's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You've got to take it easy with the secrets, you know. Ha 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 ha. How right you are. So, you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyway. Huh? With me? Ooh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. A spy. Can't I just be a defense attorney? I mean, it's my whole job. Ha 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 ha. To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me. You've heard of the jurist system, yes? The jurist system? That's right. The new legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Maybe. Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The jurist system, huh? Yeah, tell me about this. So, Daddy, what's this jurist system thing? Well, Jersey, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if the guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the jurist system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurists cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. Ah, and there will be only 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the course a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. Starring Dr. Wright. Haha. Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy. And mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Mascot? Hey. So, what is this secret mission? The jurist system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they just talk and talk and talk, and nothing that gets decided. Kinda like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as an example, and choose 6 jurists. I'll be the one helping with the process, incidentally. Helping? How? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the jurist system simulated court committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge in the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job. I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. Trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. A simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it is the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious. True. The case is a murder. That's not as simple at all. By simple, did you mean that the defendant is guilty? Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you. Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway. No sweat. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. Most serious in a worst-case scenario. You mean the verdict's for real? That's not a test trial. That's a real trial. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. The trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule. Well, why am I only hearing about this now? What the fuck, man? Ah, yes, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Something that happened last night. Bro. Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission, but what about this? Troop Grimari Grand Magic Show. Huh? Oh, right. The card tricks. They're not card tricks. They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse. Heaven and earth will shake. So what? That's 3 old days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go. Let's go today. We can say hi to Uncle Valent. Have fun. What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow, regardless. I don't trust this. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum. I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Grimari. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that silk hat the Grimari seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trucy. Thanks, it's great, but today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Today. I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. Then it's a Recycle Your Plastics present. Yippee! So it's plastic. I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. So, what is it? Can I open it, Daddy? No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on it till then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. What the fuck? An envelope about the Grimaris, huh? Bro. Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yes, of course. This is just a test. I wanted everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank slate, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good, that's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved in the case. What the hell am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of the trial, all of it. But you don't want it to backfire, do you, Apollo? If I am in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility, for good or for bad. Just do what you can. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Oh, alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Well, time's a-wasting. So, am I going? I guess I'm gonna go here first. Woohoo, this is it, Apollo. The place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was a place where murder and nightmares converged. That's because he had Uncle Valiant. What about the case? Wah ha 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 ha. Only a performer lies like that. The young Miss Trucy. How often I hope we meet again, only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Tee-hee, Uncle Valiant. How's it going? I'm glad to see you, too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck. And congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone is as lucky to witness miracles such as the ones I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing. We get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as magnifies illusions are reborn. Here on stage by my hand. Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Grimari miracle is back after a 7-year absence? Miss Trucy, I must apologize. The show and this honor should have been his. Daddy. My co-magician in training, Zach Grimari. If that terrible thing hadn't. It's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then I, Valiant Grimari, would have been proud to stand upon the stage as his assistant. Thanks, Uncle Valiant. You know, I'm happy you're doing the show. To think we get to see the great Magnify's illusions again. She's really is looking forward to it, isn't she? My mentor, the magnificent Magnify Grimari, was a true deity among magicians. A creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that defied our very imaginations. I was so little when I last saw one, but I still remember his shows. He did wheelies in a sports car through the air above the audience. Then he sped off to outer space faster than the speed of sound. I'm guessing that memory was a bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Grimari Troupe's secrets, it falls to me to provide one. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you, nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you? The world was waiting. Why did you hold off for 7 long years? It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you haven't heard of the magic known as the law, which governs our land. I have, though I'm not sure it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnify's miracle is impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more. 7 years? That phrase sure likes to pop up, doesn't it? And why was that? A little matter called performance rights, Miss Trucy. Can you tell us about these performance rights? Magnifi's magic relied on an incredible innovative idea, a trick, if you will. That trick was considered his property, and as such was protected by property laws. Intellectual property, maybe. Magnifi knew this and bequeathed it in his will. To one person. You mean him? Yes, Miss Trucy, it was your father. Zach Grimari was the inheritor of the Grimari miracle. Daddy. Yet, as you all know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where the story is going. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they're considered legally deceased, correct? In all absoluteness, those rolled-up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time of which you speak is 7 years. Yes, Miss Trucy, though it pains me to say this past spring, April to be precise, was the time. Your father was legally declared deceased. In the absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor, Magnifi, passed to me. This was, in fact, stipulated by the will of Magnifi himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called death in absentia. He's declared missing permanently. Daddy. A challenge, is it? You want me to make that disappear? Very well, give it to me. Heck, no, thanks. Are all magicians like this? Apollo, was that like just now? I was just thinking how hard it is to get any information out of a magician. Oh, looky here, a handwritten signature. It says, I can't read it. That seems odd to me. I mean, isn't a signature intended to show ownership? What's the use if no one can read it? Isn't it enough if you can read your own? No, I never thought of it that way. $70. Are you ready, Apollo? Ready? For what? For what? For the troupe! Grimari Grand Magic Show! It's not like I'm getting up on stage or anything. What are you talking about, Apollo? You can't enjoy magic if you're not part of what's going up on the stage. I'll lend you my spare costume if you need one. Huh? You mean I can't go in this? No. It doesn't get more straightforward than that. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha! Why, that bears the Grimari seal. Uncle Valent, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy, my partner, Zach Grimari? No, my other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy? Lord Daddy, that's kind of stretching the whole art geek thing a bit. The signature up on the back, do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zach Grimari. What? Did he sign this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. What's in this envelope, I wonder? Yeah, I'm gonna just leave now. Bye. October 7th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 minutes. Maybe I should complain. I'm sure that guard has better things to do than stand there pretending he doesn't see us. You know, the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter!" and they're standing right behind you. Oh, guard! Is our client going to be much longer? What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet? Huh? Oh, Eek! What? Where'd you come from? Well, anyway, please have a seat. Okay. Are you blind? I'm nervous, Apollo. It's the silence. It builds suspense. Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. On the Amazing Mr. Hat. Thud. Eek! She passed out. Miss Magic Underwear might have been a better bet. That's Magic Panties, Apollo. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate, you know? And by fate, I mean destiny. Do you know I'm good with astrology? Tell me, what's your sign? I can tell you mine if you'd like, Apollo. No, never mind. I just got carried away. I seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. So, what's your name? Alright, I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo, Apollo Justice. And I'm True Sea Right. I know. This is getting nowhere fast. Yeah, no, maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately? Well, the other day this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions. Later, Jersey. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. Though I think I understand despair a little better now. You did good, Apollo. Oh, look, she's doing her nails. What? Are nails more important than defense? Is that it? Let's go, Jersey. Excuse me. Could you read this? Sure. I feel like a teenager on a first date, and this is the love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and an address. The name is Vera Misham? The address is for Drew Studio. And you're giving me this card because... Well, looks like we're finished here. I wonder if Drew Studio is the scene of the crime. Let's go find out. Alright. Wow, this looks like a studio. It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around? But the table on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, looks like we found our crime scene. Apollo, look at all those paintings. Hey, I'll touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking. Pufferfish? Huh, Apollo, look at this one. Looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketching underneath. But that's odd, the rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. Yeah, good point. That is odd. All the paintings have a really different style, too. Ah, I thought I might find you two here. Oh, it's Emma Sky! Emma, long time no see! Oh? Seems like I run into you far too often. I'll bet I know why you're here, too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So, Mr. Wright chose you, huh? We don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Mr. Drew Misham. Misham. And his daughter was put under arrest. It was funny, though. She seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning? That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning is a common way to get the job done when the murderer is a woman. But poison... Anyway, Mr. Wright told me he'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here with my snackies. We can't talk to anyone related to this case this time around. Which means we'd better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. So, this, Drew Misham was some kind of artist. Apparently, did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Had a lot of female fans, too, for what it's worth. Oh, well, I guess this stuff is kind of pretty. Like that oil painting over there, for instance. Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. Huh? So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was an odd bird, Miss Ham. Hadn't shown his face to anyone until the end. What do you mean, to anyone? He was always locked up here in the studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he'd put in that letterbox there. Letters? Do people still write letters? What do you mean, Apollo? Don't most people use email and stuff these days? No, Mr. Misham. Couldn't stand technology, it seems. He did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that was, maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know? Oh god, I've gotten a lot already. In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer? The suspect, please. We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Mr. Misham's and Vera's, basically. Actually, last night, Mr. Misham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. His first interview ever? Could you tell us a bit more about what happened on the night of the murder? So, this woman, Vera. She's Mr. Misham's daughter, right? Yep, a real sickly girl ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. She did kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. Her good luck charm? Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Why can't I ever get a normal client? Well, why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad? Don't look at me. So, about the poison, it was found to be in his coffee, right? No, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean? You mean see for yourself, I think. Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came into the studio. I guess mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles. And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview. At around 9 p.m. every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill. And died? She poisoned him on the night of his interview? Wouldn't the reporter see? He wasn't near Mr. Misham when she brought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It's the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone's suspicious, it's the reporter. Here, the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter. Hey, there's a painting hidden back here. Hey, you're right. What if it's embarrassing somehow, and he didn't want anyone to see it? He certainly seemed pleased by the possibility. That's so normal. It's hardly something to get mad about. Huh. What is it, Apollo? Oh, doesn't this painting look like... Never mind. Better get a professional opinion on this. The letterbox looks funny sitting inside a room like this. Let's take a look. Empty. Mr. Mishamo put his letters in there. And the postman took them away. Impressive that someone still writes letters in this day and age. Or wrote, rather. Ah, that's the victim's coffee mug. Aha, so the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poisoned mug of coffee. I would hope so. Poisoned coffee. Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in the coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side, after all. Hey, Apollo, that's where the body was. That's the spot where Mr. Drew Misham passed away. He put his coffee mug to his lips, and the next moment, there's quite a bit of paint on the ground. Oh, there's quite a bit of paint on the ground. Is that half-painting painting there? Must have been working on that right up until the moment he died. Wow, it's true artist to the end. Or maybe he started it a year ago and was procrastinating? I wouldn't mind taking a closer look at these paintings. Just love oils, you know, they're so thick. Is that the word? These paints are all dry. Just surprised at how different these all are. Yeah, we call it how big, So it's so weird. The sketch part doesn't really hit the finished part. Oh, it's weird. Imagine this coffee cup was for guests to use. Guests? Did the police already analyze this cup too? Nah, trace of poison was found on that cup. So the killer was after Drew Misham alone. Is this test for painting, Paulo? That would be a drafting table. Drafting? Basically, it's a tool for making precise diagrams. Wow, painting is harder than I thought. Why would a painter need a drafting table? Was he an architect too? What are those equipment here for? It doesn't look very artistic, really. He had everything from a lathe to a laser cutter. Looks like he was ready to work on metals and wood too. Those equipment's a bit old, to tell the truth. Why would a painter need all this? From the dust, I'd say he hasn't used this stuff for years. This corner doesn't fit with the rest of the studio. Oh, do you think I could borrow this? I want to cut a quarter in half to make a trick coin. This is a crime scene, Jersey. But these cost like 50 bucks at the magic shop. Let's take a closer look at his desk here. So this is Drew Misham. And this little girl must be Vera. Yes, they took that some time ago. They look close. A little happy family. So you're right, their daughter. Go ahead. I was personally against that, okay? She just doesn't seem very suspicious, scientifically speaking. Uh-huh, right. Something about the way that figure is posed. I've seen that pose before. It's you, Apollo. See, you're making one of your flamboyant gestures. Please, I'm a professional. I wonder why it's posed like that. Coincidence? Ooh, cute! Look at the tiny frame, Apollo. Tiny is right. That thing's barely 2 inches high. The picture would fit in that. None apparently. It's empty. There's no glass in it either. It's sitting down on the desk. This is a lesson for Saul. Be sure to check the sizes when you buy frames. Is this a journal? Wow, talk about a clue. Let's read it. What is it, Apollo? He didn't write the name of the killer, did he? It's new. He didn't write a single line. Ah, he had been going for a while there. A quill. Hey, Apollo, what's this feather thingy? Isn't that a pen? Like an old-fashioned quill pen? But it doesn't have a pointy end. That was most likely for sweeping, detritus off the desk. Wow, you sure know a lot, Emma. Bold and scientific. That's my motto. Exactly. What about that was bold or scientific? This envelope has been opened and resealed. Ooh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts and opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh? The postmark for this letter. It's from 7 years ago. Why would someone open a letter and seal it again? I'd better hang on to this. Look at all these paints, Apollo. There's so many. It's got like 20 kinds of red. You could repaint your suit, Apollo. How about this shade of green? That'll be enough of that, thanks. Okay, I've observed everything I can. I bet Emma can help us out here. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. Huh? What are you two do whispering about? Well, I was thinking... I mean, what is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene? What is it we always do scientifically? Ah, you know me too well. Okay. Okay, meaning we can get her scientific now? Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out. Alright. I was wondering if you could take a look at this. Look, I'm a detective. You can't just ask me any odd thing and expect me to answer, okay? I think you need to be a little more focused on your inquiries. Scientific, even. Oh, I knew she'd get around science. Okay, good. Now that I have that done... About this painting. Oh, that's quite good, isn't it? That's not what I wanted to ask you about. You want me to examine it, is that it? I'd be happy to let you, if you had a good reason. But without that, I'm sorry. Yeah, she wants us to do a little footwork on her own first. Yeah, I got it. Oh, Emma, I was wondering about this painting here. That one? What about it? What about it? Yeah, what about it, Apollo? Take a closer look at it, both of you. Now, look at this one. It's the third painting I was working on. Hey, they're the same. I was hoping you wouldn't find that. You're right, though. Misham was copying this painting. Wow, it's pretty good. Copying a painting? What for? So, about this coffee mug. Up you aren't trying to grill me for information. You know I'm not talking. Suppose you are the detective here. Why don't you take a look at yourselves? If you find a clue, I might not be unwilling to lend a hand. I think she's gonna help us, Apollo. Let's check out this mug, shall we? Ma, about this. Oh, that. Yes, why, that's a bright red envelope. She sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? My lips are sealed. Your lips are sealed? That's a first. You mean, you know what's inside this envelope? Sure. I read it after all. Ah, you mean you were the one who ripped this open. Ha, please. I would have steamed it open. She did take a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. Weapon? Yes, these are tools, highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors. Never heard that one, but it is good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found, I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentioning. You want to know about my tool, do you? It's called an X-ray analysis. Yes. X-ray, like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right. At least that's what I call it. Huh? Has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-rays spectralization. Something. How am I supposed to remember all that? So basically, it lets you see inside things, like envelopes. That's right. You're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that, in practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works scientifically. Can I try it out, Emma, please? Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo. Yarg! What are you doing? Oh, just seeing if I can see through your hair. But it's like lead. Point the thing at me anymore and it might fall and it might all fall out. And I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it. Let's just get down to business, shall we? Right, let's test it on a sample first. Just so happens that I have a lottery ticket here. You see the sample in the device like so, or you set the device in the sample like so. I don't see anything. Patience, there's no need to get all fancy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope. Layer view. You've got to set it to display the outside of the envelope. Now, you've got to set to display the outside of the envelope. Now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there for me, would you? That's right. That's how you choose what depth you want to scan. Hey, I got something. See? That's how you can read those letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh? Except I can't read them. Just turn the dial a little more. we have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see that paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Wow, really? This X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only 0.05 microns. It breaks cards down into thin layers, so it can only show what's written on that layer. I'm not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything? That's why we go on to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit, if you would. Rubbing? Like going over the image while holding... There! That fixes the image of the scene. Now, turn the dial again, just a little. Good, now you can rub this image to fix it too. Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we've got the whole thing. Exactly, not bad. Neat, let's do some more. Oh, go back. You lose. Okay, let's print this one out. Ouch, you lose. At least you know where you stand, eh? Anyway, now you see the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Let's try it out on the real thing, shall we? It's kind of cool, actually. Okay, let's print this one out. Mr. Drew Misham, I've deposited the $100,000 in the designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. Someone deposited $100,000 into Mr. Misham's account? This painting's supposed to be really valuable. There's another page in there. Care to take a look? You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. Here goes with the second page, then. Okay, let's print this one out. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Why all the secrecy, though? And what? Why was this letter to the only one in here? Why was this letter the only one in here? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it had some special significance to him? Well, Emma? Well, indeed. She knows something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. Is it the blue? Hey, look here. That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. Must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably... better ask Emma. What a cup of coffee. Yeah, that was a nice cup of coffee. That was cool, I enjoyed that. Hey, Apollo, this painting, I know it. Huh? Really? It's that story where the old woman is doing the wash in the river. And this giant peach comes floating on down. That might possibly be the strangest thing I've ever heard. Where's the hidden undercover stuff in the back? Apollo, look at this painting. You can see the rough sketch. Oh, looks like it was only half completed. Huh, that's funny. Do the rough sketches and the finished painting look totally different to you, too? They do, actually. What's that all about? I'm waiting for something to be written on the back of one of these. Is that a pufferfish? Apollo, that's clearly a porcupine fish. They're not the same thing? You know what gets me. They've got all these needles, right? What's protecting that soft spot on the lower belly there? Nothing. Must remember to keep Trissy away from small round fish. She will kill him. Okay. Give me the stuff on the back. Well, what do we have here? It looks like a person thinking about something. Maybe they're worried? Like, what I should have for a supper? A hot dog or a hamburger? You know, I've always wondered about that. Why is there supper and dinner? Are they different meals or the same thing? Maybe that's what this person's thinking about. I don't think so, Apollo. Nothing. Yeah, okay, that's about all. Okay. Now can I present this to you? This I have a good reason about. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue residue on the rim. That. Yes, well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there was a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. Pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Ah, right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science. I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So what kind of scientific stuff were you up to? Honey, block 'em. This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug. That's right, see? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing. Certainly is helpful. Maybe I might be willing to help us out a bit more. Should try buttering her up, Apollo. Yeah, good job, honey. Thank you. They say flattery will get you everywhere. It's currently worth talking to her a bit more. About poison analysis. I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, the solution is used to test for etriquin. Etriquin, the deadly poison found in the autopsy. Uh-oh, I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for ingestion for adverse effects to show. Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown. But that's fine, really. We don't need to know all the glory. We don't need to know all the gory details. I think I get it. You just spray the stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try it too, Emma. Please, please. You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay, let's give it a whirl, Apollo. What are you doing? Just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do that again. I'm not poisonous. Tell it to all those hapless witnesses on the stands. Let's just get down to checking for real poison, shall we? Spray, 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 spray. I'm actually surprised I haven't found anything. Am I supposed to find something? Too bad, no reaction there. Sure, I'm gonna check out all the likely spots. Wait a second. What is it, Apollo? Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know. Check it out, just to be sure. Oh, okay. Oh. There we go. Eek! A reaction, Apollo. Ah! Where? The inside of that cute little frame. Look! Oh, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that I was the one who found it. Frame measuring 2 inches by 2 inches. Bears traces of deadly poison. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? Looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. So Emma, I was wondering. What's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime? Ah, I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow. I thought so. I'll never forget that face. But what was his name? Oh, right. Brushel. Brushel? He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. So a reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you? Really strange. It does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not Tracy, that leaves only one other person. It wasn't Valiant Grimari by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Valiant Grimari? Valiant Grimari? Looks like I'll be heading out to that Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. Thank you, Emma. So you have to take this back part off first to put a photo inside. It'd have to be a really small photo to fit in there. True, and that pale blue stain. Why would there be poison on something like this? Well, there's one obvious reason. Whoever put poison in the coffee rubbed a bit on here, too. It's not very obvious, Trucy. It really isn't. Alright, Spark Brushel. Guess you gotta have a good business card if you work freelance. Really. What's this? A camera lens finder? Do reporters take photos too? I guess if he's freelancer. I guess if he's freelance, he'd have to. Maybe you should try being a prosecutor and a defense attorney. You'd always win. Why don't I become a rock star too while I'm at it? Top dollar for information. It's me, Mr. Brushel. Go. Hey, buddy, I gotta talk to you. So, a journalist was here on the story. All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name is Brushel. Brushel. I think he remembers him. He doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel, that cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Can you tell us more about him? What did he want? A man by that name called on me just now. Valent's vision is always towards tomorrow. Valent's feet step away, always forward. That is all. That's all. Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes. I wanted someone to cover him. Yes, he had ears only for that incident. That incident? In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Grimari. Uncle Valent, do you know where the reporter went? I recommended he visited that place popular with penalized perpetrators. The detention center? He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability. I will tear apart him. Ooh, here comes Apollo. Uncle Valent's big magic trick. Is he going to fix the card? Not sure that qualifies as big magic. What happened to the big magic? Ah ha 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 ha. Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? He must have really not liked that journalist. Now, the time has come when I must return to make my prestidigitation preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Thanks, Uncle Valent. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Valent react like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. I don't like him. He's always seemed fishy. October 7th, the detention center. Visitors room. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? Oh, that looks like him.
Hey there. How ya doing? Who might you be?
Sorry, we didn't know someone was already here. I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey.
You're Justice, you!
You know me?
Do I know you? Of course I know you. Stares down witnesses on stand till they spill beans, end quote.
That's not true. What's he writing? Are you a reporter by any chance?
Whoa, you're Trucy.
Am I famous?
Oh yeah. Trucy Red hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her panties, end quote. Yeah, that's not true. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy.
Interview?
So guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need, end quote.
No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Did you come here to interview the guard?
Ooh-wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk, had to interview someone or go plumb crazy, end quote.
Huh? I should have guessed.
Where's my manners? Name's Brushel, Spark Brushel. I'm not picky, journalist, just close his eyes, writes, end quote.
What's that nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins?
Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through crossroads or mayhem madness, end quote.
I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. I don't like him. So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist?
Me? Look, let me state one thing for the record here.
Yes?
I'm the interviewer, you understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here, end quote.
Okay.
For instance, you think a movie director watches movies?
Well, I think he probably does.
Exactly! I knew you'd understand!
Huh? What? So, the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio?
Who, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record.
Yes?
I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy, real busy, always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back, end quote.
I can understand that philosophy, but...
You want another thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport.
True enough, but don't they give normal tickets away too?
Exactly, see? It's the same thing.
What is... So, you went to do his story on Drew Misham, and he never had a story done on him before.
That's right. Look, let me say one thing for the record here.
What?
I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why did the interview in the first place?
Well, yes.
Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it. Say there's this burger joint with a fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's going to tell me where he got it?
At the supermarket, maybe?
Exactly, see? That's what I'm talking about.
I think I may have actually understood that one.
Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls have ears, eyes, especially glass walls with speakers, end quote.
Right, guess we'll leave then.
But since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it.
Sure, tell us. Just for the heck of it.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup. When an article in a tabloid caught my eye, famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery, end quote, I believe it was.
An oil painting?
Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river.
Someone stole an oil painting of a giant peach?
Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers. End quote.
I will present this to you and nothing else.
Alright, let me get on the record here.
Yes.
I know what you're going to say. Rushall, take this, write brilliant column. End quote.
I don't think so.
Look, buddy, I write brilliant columns about one thing, and that's food. Try to understand.
What could he possibly be writing? He didn't listen to what word I said. Okay. We're getting close to the peach one. So in other words, he doesn't care about like any of this, but he does have one of those quills. Okay, so he's literally gonna respond to none of this. Okay. October 7th, Drew Studio.
Well, how'd it go? Find anything out?
Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you.
What's with that scary face you're making?
What's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you got going, Emma? I don't know where to go.
Oh, presenting Garvey. I did my fair share of that back in the day. Showed my attorney's badge a lot, too. You may look cool and calm now, but you should have seen him before.
Ah ha 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 ha. You know me too well, Juicy. Glad I approved this opportunity for a little family bonding. I like how you talked about the badge thing, because, you know, streamers like to do that. I kind of confused here. Oh yeah, I don't see... I don't know what to do. Pretty sure I've examined everything to be examined. I don't know what else to do. Is there something I'm supposed to know about you? This is food. I don't know. Okay, what if... Well, that's not doing what I thought it would. I was kind of expecting... I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know where else to go. There's like nowhere else to go. This seems like the only place, but I've talked to her about everything. I'm lost. Getting before you came from the dresser. Ah, yes, so. It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. Forger? Finally! So, what exactly is a forger? Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes. Copies of an original. Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Misham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like a practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of a forgery, not necessarily anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all. Well, yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint, the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go to such lengths. Seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, it'd be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kinda like what he was drawing when he thought it, no one was looking. True. That would be interesting. Maybe valuable for our case. Just try blattering her up, Apollo. Blatter will get you everywhere, they say. I should have come up, so. Well, I'm going to. I don't want to see a rough sketch of this painting. I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Fine, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Okay, let's print this one out. What? What the heck? Wow, he really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted to do for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas. So you could tell if there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like. I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely, then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Misham was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure. You like this section stuff, don't you? I do. This stuff's fun. Yeah, let's put this one out. That looks like the noodle stand. This one too. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could just look at the last of these? Fine by me. Knock yourself out. That looked like the noodle stand. That other one looked like the rock star, like the rock cut. Is this gonna have to do with poker now? I swear to God if it does. Like, if it does with poker and Phoenix, like... It does! Okay, let's put this one out. Well, what? What the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you not notice anything? Ah! There. Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then... the events that transpired during the Gaviniers concert. What could it mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, Mr. Misham, your father? Give me a break. Does it even remotely seem possible to you? I'd never even heard of Drew Misham before. I hadn't even a picture of him. But there were my cases, drawn on this canvas. Every single one of them. Couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Misham, and what did he have to do with me? Oh. What did he have to do with me? Let's find out. October 8th, 9:48 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6. Well, that's new. Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. Not right. But, yeah. We're on your side. Tell us anything, please. Good morning. She speaks. Not bad, not bad. But I think you'd do better with a little smile, you know. You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know. Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. Thank you for taking my case. Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. Here goes the nail polish again. That's great, really. So cultured. It's not poison, is it? Wanna try?
Ooh, really?
Girls. The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really, and maybe one that led to his death. October 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom, number 3. I thought Phoenix was going to be up there. Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Misham. Is the judge okay? His voice is so raspy and he's looking around all nervous like, ahem. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever.
Today is a test of the jurist system,
and the first step towards a new order in our courts.
Daddy's secret mission.
The jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom?
3 closed-circuit cameras watch a courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires.
Jurists, Judge Well and Judge Cool. Now say your Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that.
My apologies there, Judge.
Jurists today are... Judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind. The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. Don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would.
Ooh. The victim is the painter Drew Misham, who was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Vera Misham.
Objection!
There wasn't any poison in the coffee. A chung. Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
The mug? Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see.
The autopsy report describes the matter of our victim's death.
The court accepts this as evidence. Death by, poisoning. That's any time of death. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by poisoning.
A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of eterquin in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. You may present your witness.
I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. That journalist, no doubt.
I'll be right back, guys. We'll grab a drink. Before Creepy McCreepants comes back. Alright. The witness will state his name and occupation.
Alright. Well, for starters, my name's Sparkbot Breschel. My job is a lone observer of the world.
In other words, a freelance journalist, right?
If you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record.
Yes, Mr. Marshall?
I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to conclusions. Preconceptions make Park Sandbox of endless desert waste, end quote.
But you were a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday.
Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today as a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Breschel into that Mr. Breschel, end quote.
Well, answer your testimony then, shall we?
A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me and the jury is still out. I visited that studio around 9 that night to do the interview. First outsider to enter the Etilaire, journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time.
That does sound like a simple case. Unless you're the one who poisoned him.
Well, what are you saying, Judge?
Ahem. Need I remind you the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic.
You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know. Wild accusations rock courtroom, end quote.
Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice. Cross-examination, please.
Okay.
Okay, studio around 9 that night to do the interview.
Night at night. Isn't it a little late for an interview? If the great painter Drew Mishames has come at 9, believe you me, I go at 9. At first, as it turns out, last interviewed with such a prolific painter.
Right, can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio.
Posterity will turn back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind, but a giant step for that Brushel guy, end quote.
If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve the reason that the deed was done by an insider. By which he means Vera did it. So, how did this epoch-making interview go? So nothing seems so outright so far. Would you mind being a little more specific?
Let me tell you, I enjoy cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No, wait, 4th grade.
That's not what I meant. I believe I know what Air Forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it? Right, that. I was gonna say, really.
Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits several times if necessary. Wait for a grade schooler, that's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only rate grade school level stuff, mind you.
Who touched the coffee?
Dunno. I was in the back, looking at the studio's equipment when she served it.
And what happened next? What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money over.
Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away as star falls, get it?
But there's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter?
Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff. How that star breaks. Nah, Lex punch, I know. Star dies. Ha, Lex imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies straight to the point, I like it.
I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. About when Mr. Misham passed away.
Oh boy, what a scene that was. He puts his coffee mug down at the crash, right?
Yes, and then?
And his cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and fails. So cold as that touch, he could do not but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, life's flame was a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go.
I think he's starting his article over. Can you describe that a little more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artistic seizure is final performance. End quote.
Electrical paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches back like a bow. The limbs tremble, the throat burns. That's quite enough of that. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah? I want details, lots of juicy details. So that you can listen on our last year's hit signal. Etroquin, my love, with the Gavineers, available at all major music outlets.
The point here is that the victim died of Etroquin poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony? I'm gonna say very important. Well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony. Very well, the court requests the witness add this account to his testimony. You say it was definitely death by poison. How can you be so sure?
Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things. And I've had a lot more of my share of experience with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish, goes bye-bye. End quote.
Food poisoning doesn't count. Should I kind of talk about something else? So you drink the coffee that Vera served you too?
Of course, when someone serves you coffee, you drink it. So my old boss always used to say, never did get what he meant by it, though.
But you're still alive, which is to say, you didn't die.
Of course not. No point falling before you're a star. End quote.
That's not exactly what I was getting at.
What were you getting at then?
You know the poison was on this rim, not in the coffee.
Oh, yes, yes. There were 2 cups on the tray she bought, and one of the cups had your signature painted on the side.
A chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess. Well, Mr. Johnson, was that something important? I'm gonna say very important. I'm talking about this coffee the witness drank. Say that is important. Very well, please add that to your testimony, Mr. Brussel. 056. But I'm not dead yet. Sure you drink the coffee.
Oh, yes, yes, quiet. I gulped down. Felt that sweet scorch in my throat.
She said the victim took one sip and fell over. She still kept drinking.
Of course. Drink your coffee when it's hot, never when it's cold, and when it's not. That's what my old boss used to always say. Never really knew what that meant by that.
See, Mr. Misham had the coffee, too. Did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world yet. I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mug, drinks, end quote.
That poison is quite virulent, I hear.
I selected a so-called somersault. Since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there, some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record?
Does this guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable? Yes. Victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You can go to press on with that one.
Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add to the testimony. Very well, the witness will add to the okay. So either took a sip or didn't, and then fell over.
Oh yes, indubitably, just like that, wham bam.
Mr. Michigan drank the coffee and fell over immediately. I think Crush is telling the truth, too. Should I get talk about something else? I'm gonna say no need. There's no real need to change the testimony. The problem with the testimony is already pretty obvious, is it? That's interesting. Can you say that for sure?
For sure, I'm sure. Your studio's in a big place, kiddo. I'd know it if someone else had come in.
What if they had been hiding in there from before?
Objection!
Even if someone had already been hiding in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing.
You think I, Spark Brushel, would miss something as obvious as that? No way.
Sure makes it sound exciting, because it's his job. There's only one moment we really need to focus on.
The moment when True Michigan died?
Exactly, there has to be something there. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. Adequin. Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drink that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile. They're using me as an example. Fortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. An omission? Adequin is as virulent as he says. But death doesn't come upon indigesting, not immediately. That's because Adequin is slow-acting. Slow-acting?
What?
According to the one forensic scientist. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It's at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. We suppose at the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee when it was sealed, was when he sealed his fate. And he would still have had left time to enjoy his last cup of joe. God, he's so skinny. Order! What's this meaning? What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we just heard. Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record?
Slow act. It was virulent, all right. Even then, it had already begun digging its claws into the journalists. He's working on his scoop.
Objection!
It's Brushel's job. Here, Brushel, let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Huh?
Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital.
You know what I think? I think that was a not-so-subliminal suggestion, end quote.
I admit, it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say, auf Wiedersehen, to my simple case. And you'd be forced to say farewell to your article.
Come again?
You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. Oh. Uh-oh. No. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye.
Scoop. Look, wait. Just wait a second. Just 1 second.
We're waiting. Out with it.
I think I just recall a so-called important detail. A revival of clear recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote.
Attorney utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that takes its sweet time, you see.
But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushel, are you saying you've noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say.
Or I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know how to poison that coffee.
Order! As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank.
Of course I'm standing by my testimony. And I dream of exclusive rights to the story.
Suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, it was. Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Him?
Phoenix right, who else? Chung, Brushel, report to us if you will.
What is that you noticed? This court is in a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. What the fuck?
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. Thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
A suicide note.
As he had his look on his face. Man's face is inscrutable as a quadratic equation, end quote.
Suicide. Poor Mr. Misham.
But that means Vera's innocence.
Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview?
Oh.
Very well. You may begin a cross-examination. Was there anyone at the studio other than Mr. Misham?
Well, his daughter Vera, of course.
Was anyone besides Mr. Misham and Vera present?
Not a single one. Not a cat. Not a rat. Not even a mouse.
The only person who didn't belong to that studio there was you, wasn't it, Mr. Misham?
Aha! I know what you're thinking. I know what you're doing. I know your game. I told you to use a classic Rastin phenomenon ploy, end quote.
Lieutenant suggests the report is a suspect. I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting this assertion, correct?
In the meantime, let's move along, shall we?
Hold it!
So he put the letter away when he saw you.
Early reporter gets worm, end quote. That's my secret.
I'm not sure I follow.
And it's the night of the interview. I arrived 15 minutes ahead of schedule. Handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in.
Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really?
Mr. Misham sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one.
It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice, wonder, does it bring something important? Well, defense finds his testimony vital, Your Honor. Very well. Please add it to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge.
Objection!
As it just so happens, there was a single letter in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope.
What?
Prosecutor Gavin. Yes. Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But, Airforehead, it's easy to mistake the color of an envelope.
I guess. But not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Marshall?
I can explain that. Sure, right. I wanted to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of sight of my beady eyes, yes? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away.
And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction chump? Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim?
That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope.
It's impossible. That's impossible.
Ah, I like your expression. So full of confidence.
It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist.
What?
Note this letter is addressed to Drew Misham.
Oh?
Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone and send a suicide note to himself.
I've been scooped!
Yeah, bro, come on. Come at me. Order! Mr. Marshall, can you explain this to the court?
Oh my, how could I have forgotten? Suppose this happens to be the best of us. The reporter gets old, forgets lost. End quote.
I'm still wishing for an explanation, Mr. Marshall.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put this, his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer.
Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. End quote.
A stamp, whatever for.
Well, mail his letter, what else? And then, why yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box.
Well, apparently, this yellow letter has nothing to do with this case.
Well, I wish it did. Just think if that were a suicide note. What a story. Sorry, write suicide note in front of a reporter. False. End quote.
I am, as I was saying, it has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor, makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. Yep. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money.
So this was from 7 years ago, Jean. So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing.
I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, or rather unique face.
Come on. Attorney has active imagination, little else. End quote.
Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. You know, I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge's active imagination, end quote. Please continue with the testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story.
Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here, usually.
Weirdo. He's a weirdo.
Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, ends quote. Story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare.
No, it wasn't. He was a forger. So you threatened to go to the press with a story. That's how you got your interview? Blackmail?
Well, yes. No. I was exactly black. I'm not hurt.
Something wrong, Mr. Brushel.
Look, this is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood. End quote.
I see.
Well, you have me chatting away in here. What's going on out there? What are some wily wads with those Sally Scooper gets into my story? They could be carrying the past while I'm going to waste.
The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace. Certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? Oh. Was I mistaken? Okay, let's stop there. Something with a bad taste in my mouth. That makes sense. Nobody jumps out as ridiculous. What the story's talking about is. It must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse like that. I'm gonna stop doing that for now.
Hold it!
The victims, Rumisham, had an aversion to reporters. Boy, I guess not even my considerable charms did much for him. So I finally got got my thumbs up, that is. Maybe you can elaborate on this for a bit for us?
Hold it!
Exactly what sort of story was this?
Oh, a little one, like I said. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing in between. End quote. I might have suggested I had a lead on this particular story, but I didn't threaten or cajole or nothing, honest.
Suggestion was enough to get an interview. Mr. Misham must have really wanted to keep it under wraps.
Hold it!
A certain case 7 years ago. Tell us what case.
Let me say one thing, Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case.
Well, why not?
It's about journalistic pride and staunchness and credibility and connections. Journalists reveal sources only over his dead body. End quote. So what'll it be? Gonna strangle me. Dead men don't tell tales, Mr. Attorney.
Sounds pretty determined not to talk. Our chances of breaking his will aren't looking good.
Hold it!
On the one hand, we have your story, and on the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related?
Oh, I was just saying it's possible. Call it reporter's intuition, end quote. Yeah, I say a lot of things. You going to pick all of them apart? Be my guest?
All of them? No, just the incredibly suspicious ones. I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Misham? 2 and... or 3 and 4.
Hold it!
Just how amazing was Mr. Misham's talent.
Huh? Oh, yeah, boy. I mean, hey, he's a star, man, a star. The flow of his brush is like a great, undulating river across the canvas. Artist's paints light up studio like sun, end quote.
This guy is full of wacky gestures. But that one just now is wackier than usual.
He looks kind of nervous to me, Apollo.
Definitely. I'm sensing something different than before here. Maybe it's time to bring you out, you know what.
Is this when he left a bad taste in my mouth?
I feel like it's here. I'm not noticing anything different. I don't know where else to look. Wait a minute.
Gotcha!
So it's sweat much, Mr. Breschel?
Okay, yeah, well.
A man can't help his glands, you know. It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, he suddenly began to sweat buckets.
Heck.
You're hiding something. Or you're hiding something about his talent.
What? That's ridiculous.
Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. It's either this one or the other one.
Take that!
Get up over there. I think I was supposed to get good for this.
Oh. Huh?
Take that!
This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. And there are two problems with this painting. First is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio. It looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. And we have a letter discussing payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. That is all, Your Honor.
Everyone, please. Everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop.
Forgery? That's a serious crime.
Trimish Ham is known as an artist these days. There were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back.
Another art meaning forgery?
Trimish Ham was talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover.
Criminal elements? What? Can't seriously be talking about.
Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumor started circulating 7 years ago.
7 years ago. So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 is for...
Exactly. Forged evidence. Forged evidence nets tidy profit, end quote.
Order. Why, it's like our victim was living a double life.
Aha, this is my chance.
So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right?
He could have had plenty of enemies whom we know nothing about.
Objection!
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation.
Objection!
But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity there.
Objection!
There is no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey, the only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing my reviews.
Mr. Brushley, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen.
What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism so solid you could stand an elephant on it. End quote.
In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that city from the recap, the trial is over.
Apollo, what's he talking about?
Cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, and the killer had to be Vera, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please.
Ugh.
Huh? I am back. An interview, a recap.
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted it as much as herself. Anything that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
Yeah, buddy. A nice testimony, clear, succinct, and without room for doubt.
Ah, shucks. You really think so?
I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination. Right. Still have one trump card left to play. I won't let this trial end until I use it. I don't know what this trump card, quote-unquote, is.
Hold it!
But doesn't prove Vera poisoned it.
Objection!
How many times have we heard that one, Air Forehead? Poison reaches victim via that coffee mug. And from where did that coffee come from? Not to beat a dead horse again and again, but perhaps you could fill us in.
I'm on it. You need a horse, Pete? I'm your man.
Not the first one.
Hold it!
And you witnessed her pouring the coffee.
Of course I didn't witness it when she came in with that tray. The coffee was already poured and steaming.
But let's not forget the defendant has admitted to pouring the coffee herself. I heard her statement. I poured, I served, and got killed. What? The last part was just a little joke. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with this coffee mug. I need to find another weak spot in this case.
Hold it!
You sure about that?
Well, to be really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time.
One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Objection!
Yet at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragments of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found. It's a long shot anyway. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee? Oh, wow, Mr. Justice? If you have some proof. Possibility is there, I can feel it. Just maybe not prove it, not yet. Possibility isn't going to cut it, not now. Mr. Mish Hammock ingested the poison via a route other than coffee. Proof is possible. I gotta risk it. Oh, excellent. Let's see your proof then. Please show us your evidence. What evidence shows that the victim wasn't poisoned via his coffee mug? This?
Take that!
Must I explain this over and over and over? We don't need possibilities here, Air Forehead. We need proof. I know that. You should also know that every proof has its moment. Perhaps you're a bit early? I can tell you what we know at this point. The victim put nothing to his mouth with a coffee mug. I don't know, hold on, this case needs blood before I can prove anything. First things first. Better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again. And the cross-examine it. Okay. Nothing left at the studio after he died. Nothing. Okay. Not one thing. You're sure?
Yep, sure as I could be. Well, with one exception.
What exception? What?
Journalist Spark Marshall does interview, leaves studio. End quote. Ha 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 ha. Come on. It's a joke. Get it? Not funny, I know, but still.
Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? Just one thing. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. Certain something that has vanished from the crime scene. By which you mean? Something other than our witness, of course.
Don't tell me, Vera Misham.
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional. Then let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice. Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of our crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have the evidence that shows it could have been taken from the scene. This?
Take that!
I find Prosecutor Gavin more amusing than this guy, really.
That was comic relief, why do I not feel amused? We want evidence that they're taking me, Mr. Justice. Wait. There's my career in a stand. Oh no. Well, this thing wasn't a crime scene of the crime section. Ah, I kind of thought so. This is the only link between the studio and the outside world. A letterbox? What did Mr. Brush just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true. Furthermore, he went on to tell us he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah! The very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope disappeared.
Objection!
Yes, intriguing. So an envelope had disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. Huh? He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he just saw disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me. Very well, then. The witness will add this to his testimony. You got it. Still think this fails to change anything. Yeah, go ahead. Exactly the opening I've been looking for.
Hold it!
Nothing could be more serious than an envelope disappearing from that studio. And you were hiding that fact from us. Oh, yes, well, actually. I don't argue the possibility that a letter disappeared from that studio. But yeah, forehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us? Alright, how Mr. Rich was poisoned, I know. Mr. Burchell's testimony has changed, which means the facts in the case have too. What he's told us means something entirely different now. I'm starting to think. Let's keep thinking, Apollo.
Hold it!
You say clearly as though it were obvious. This claim that the defendant poisoned the victim is merely conjecture. Ah, yes, well, you see, in my business, it's all about making the most ridiculous things sound right. A bad habit, I know. Yes, well, actually, I guess this is a more case of ridiculous journalists go wrong, head quote. The court is forced to agree with you. Please refrain from wild conjecture. Understand, I declare. If only I could believe that. What do you think, Apollo? Everything you're saying seems so not flawed. Well, that's kind of what you want from a testimony, really. I need to keep my eye on what matters. How and why was Drew Misham killed? If I report the coffee, it's not going to change. The coffee didn't kill him. I need to find what did and prove it.
Hold it! Objection!
What if it's just a coffee mug? Well, what did you say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw writing a letter I did. Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp? Ah! As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Objection!
No one worth talking to actually likes stamps in this day and age.
Objection!
Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all.
Objection!
Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait, how does that explain the attribute on the rim of the coffee mug?
Objection!
If you lick the back of a poisoned stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if you put the coffee mug to his mouth, Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It's the other way around. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order? But that does it? Recall, if you would. Bitterquin is a slow-acting poison, yes? Poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But this time was up until the very moment he touched his lips with that cup of joe. You have something to add, Mr. Brushel? Uh-oh. Supposed to pick up another scent. So I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see. After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. It's a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. End quote. No, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one. Maybe he just run out?
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps. Not a single one.
That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison?
Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. Makes proving the stamp he used that poison. It makes proving the stamp he used as poison possible. Good show, good show. Can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place.
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp?
Take that!
Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little.
It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection. So what? Ah, apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
Missing something?
Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of this frame. Atroquin residue. What? Why wasn't I told about this? The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of this frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You aren't saying... Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps?
Order, order, order! The poison stamp was in this frame!
Impossible.
But Prosecutor Gavin!
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit suicide if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see.
What, Mr. Russell? And please stop jittering around like that.
The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote.
So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Objection!
Oh, Rich. That's Rich. Leave the ridiculous fights of fancy to the Gavinier song lyrics, please.
Finally, something we agree on.
The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
Oh, I disagree.
Come again.
Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Dermisham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail? Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
Might not have the evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
Well, what is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling.
I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed. Well, Velocin, Mr. Justice? A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the sent to death.
It's not this, is it?
Show you how someone with the intent to kill. I don't know. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill.
Take that!
I'm not sure it's entirely clear to me what this proves, Mr. Justice. Was I wrong?
I believe we have shown probable intent to kill. Except the killer would be air judge and the victim you.
You are. Consider that a warning, Mr. Justice. Think before presenting next time. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Let's take this one over again. A certain piece of evidence. I showed this one, right? Oh, God. Oh, no. This is my last clue. But I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent him. In the letterbox? Let me show you how they sent him the stamp of death. Is it this or this? I fucking failed. Is it the letter? Is it the letter? And I failed. Oh my god. Lovely. Lovely. Watch it be the letter. God damn it. This is the envelope. When is it sent? I didn't really... whatever. Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of this letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This page 1. And this page 2. Oh, the enclosed stamp, yeah. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope, the enclosed stamp within 3 days. Enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ah! In other words, if I have this right, the stamp poison on the stamp, lick, lip, gask, end quote. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would send the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath, and the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. Such a splendid imagination you have there, forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poisoned stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago. Ja, is that what you have us to believe, really? Well... It is a little bit of a stretch, but there is a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? Poisoned stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became a murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago, and I don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence. I see very well. I move to. It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein Clavier. Ah, Emma. What? What? Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like him? Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective? Someone had to come dig you out of all the mess you're making of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted in science a little more. Find out if that stamp was in the envelope easy. Care to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right. Poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. Can I... Yeah, I'm kind of... There we go. Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's etriquin residue.
I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Objection!
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago?
Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. Figured what out? He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp. Now put his decisive evidence in a frame? Heck, you're still here.
Can I make a statement here on the record? I Spark, Razor Tooth Brush will claim the scoop is mine. Jim Misham killed in cold blood. I send her a 7-year-old letter, end quote. No, maybe something more second. Star falls at just 7-year delay, end quote.
Or. I see no further argument here. Though I admit, this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. The stamp is taken straight to afterlife, end quote.
Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo, I think we just won.
Very well. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor. Gavin?
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gavinier's shows are invalid after 2 weeks.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Air Forehead's claim.
Contradiction?
A poison stamp was placed in his envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed and up until now. That's the case. And why would Drew Misham have done what he did? Emma, explain that. Explain that. He must have realized it was poisonous. Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham set a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest Mr. Misham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years, and forgot? You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself?
Maybe he thought it, like, the poison died down. Well, I admit, this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo, I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Objection!
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
Objection!
What about the atriquin residue, huh? Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atriquin residue. But Air Forehead, it's certainly no stamp.
Yeah, but...
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all.
I believe we've come to a conclusion, again. Apollo, you were wrong the whole time?
I can't believe it. The poison traces matches up. It can't be a coincidence.
I'd like to bring some closure to this issue when I was here, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor. Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison etriquin on the document inside that envelope. Similar traces also found at this crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with a poison stamp on it.
Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used the stamp.
I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it.
Traces of atriquin.
Envelope. The frame. And Jerome Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The offense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. Ah, fake clue. Fascinating. If we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable. The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison trail is none other than... This frame is the fake clue? Without a doubt, Your Honor.
Objection!
Was it you who presented this evidence to the court? Oh, hold on a second, Apollo. The poison on the envelope. It's that frame and the coffee mug. They're all connected somehow. Oh, right. Hear it already. Looks like a fake. Was it you, Air Forehead? We can flog ourselves later, Apollo. Now's not the time for thinking. The red envelope. Jerome Misham. The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. Oh, yeah. Congratulations. You've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah. I know that face. I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again. 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into the very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake. One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers, and one of them was a fake. Order! So we're telling us that Drew Misham, the victim, was a fake. Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Drew Misham was. Drew Misham wasn't the real forger. There's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Misham was himself a forgery. The real forger was...
Take that!
Answering the next wild claim becomes subject of past original ankle. I come up with something quick before that story goes to rip. It's not Vera, is it?
Take that!
Can be only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger, known as Drew Misham, is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. Order! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you. I kind of agree. I mean, Vera, a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in the trap 7 years ago. It can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well... okay. Fascinating. Vera Misham? You've been paying attention to the trial so far. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who's the forger, Drew Misham? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? staring holes in the prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Frauleins, believe me. Oh, they usually talk to me, too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. So the forger, Drumisham, was you? Yes, it was me. What? What? The court was in an uproar, and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Uh. Okay, well. Well. Well, we're just gonna, I guess, end here. I was trying to see if the next section I could do fast. Kinda confused. I'm gonna be honest. I have no clue what to think. Cause like... It's just weird. So, she was the forger. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Man, you know, I don't know. But as far as we're getting, you know, for today. So, yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen, though. Well, I'm going to end the stream there. Tomorrow we will pick up on this court case and find out where it leads. I'm just confused how long this one is, because from what I saw, not that long. Like, at all. It's only a 6-hour case. So we're already, like, a third of the way through. So, I don't know, man. But we'll see where this all ends next time. Oh. Oh. So yeah. Next time on stream, we will continue figuring out this case. We'll see you all next time.